So more than likely what brought you to this video is a recent controversy over Slysoft and Redfox, or you just discovered your AnyDVD license is no longer valid for some reason, and your search brought up this video. I made this because I'd like to express my opinion on the subject on a non-censored platform. I won't be deleting any comments, so please feel free to post your opinions in the comment section below. Unfortunately, on the Redfox forum, all the topics about the current issue have been closed regardless of the subject matter, unless of course the topic is positive. They're doing this because they say the time for debate is over. So I won't go into too much detail about the current situation, but I will do a real quick rundown to give all this some context. Slysoft was a company that made software, mainly DVD and Blu-ray cloning and ripping programs. Its flagship products were AnyDVD and AnyDVD HD. They are amazing pieces of software that allow the anti-piracy encryption to be removed, allowing you to watch DVDs and Blu-rays on any media player. It also allowed for DVDs and Blu-rays to be ripped and saved as a regular media file with zero encryption. Slysoft, I believe, offered licenses for 1, 2 and 3 years and also offered a lifetime license for access to their software. Slysoft, with no warning, closed their company at the start of 2016. It's unknown exactly why. It could have been financial issues or just legal issues. It is now looking like it's leaning more towards the legal issue side. However, some of Slysoft's now former employees continued on with the company, with the software that was handed down to them in lieu of missed wages. This is around the time where I started paying attention to what was going on the forums to see if my AnyDVD HD license, which I was just a few months into my 2-year license, would still work. The forums were extremely positive about the change, and it looked like everyone who had an active license would get some kind of discount on what looked like to be a new annual or monthly subscription-based model, with only a few lifetime license holders who felt that they were getting screwed. And now at the end of May 2016, just a few days before I made this video, they started reselling the same software almost exactly as it was to people who already had licenses for it. Their price structure was almost exactly the same as it was before. However, anyone who purchased a license in December of 2015 or after would get a 50% off any license or have it free to use for 1 year. This meant that out of all the people who still had valid licenses, whether that would be someone who has a lifetime license or someone like me who was just a few months into their 2-year license that was bought before December 2016, would receive no discount. Currently, Redfox are running a 20% off sale for the first 6 weeks. However, Slysoft would generally run the same deal all the time. And because this is for anybody, I don't really consider it a true discount. I wanted to make that clear because on the forums not a lot of people realize this 20% discount is for everyone, not just people who still have a valid active license. So this is my opinion on how Redfox decided to go about the situation. I'll leave it up for a while, but it would probably be best if you pause the video at this point to read my post. There was only one reply before the topic was closed. That one reply was basically a user telling me over and over again how Slysoft is dead and Redfox is a completely new company, which I know full well. I won't show that post here because it didn't really add any value. Shortly after my topic was closed, another member of the forum reached out to me who saw my topic and informed me that a lot of people do agree with my opinion, but there are a lot of users and even mods who are blindly defending Redfox, closing, critiquing topics and giving a false perspective of the opinion of the forum. I replied and let the user know I appreciated his message, and now here we are with me making this video. So the situation has left some users eternally grateful for the ex-employees of Slysoft, who are continuing on this project. Some feel like they've been ripped off and are having to rebuy exactly the same product that they already have paid to have access to. Me personally, I'm kind of in the middle. I love AnyDVD HD. To be able to watch Blu-rays on my PC is amazing, and the software works almost flawlessly. And even with new releases sometimes not working right away, with users and staff working together through the forums, they usually have an update within a couple of days to solve the issue. I would be kind of lost without this software, and most certainly I will be repurchasing before the 20% off deal ends at the end of next month. However, I'm also left with a bitter taste in my mouth because, as I said before, I was just 7 months into my 24-month license, missing out on the 50% deal by about 6 weeks. It seems that the users who bought a lifetime license 3 or more years ago, some bought them as far back as 10 years ago, are not really bothered at all by having to rebuy the software. And why would they be? They already got their money's worth by far, and they're just happy to be able to keep using the software. It's the users who recently purchased but missed the December cutoff for the 50% off who are speaking out the most. But I've been told that this is a completely different company time and time again, and I can absolutely not blame them for feeling ripped off. Here's why. Yes, it is a different company. Unless you subscribe to the idea that this was all planned as a way to be able to resell the product to all its previous lifetime license holders, which by the way I don't, then there's no controversy in the idea that this is not a different company. However, I feel this is what Redfox isn't quite understanding. Money spent by Slysoft customers went in to make what AnyDVD HD is today, and Redfox have just been handed it. Redfox doesn't have to work for months creating anything at all. All they really had to do was change the name in a few places and they were good to go. So this is why I'm so disappointed. People who have paid money for this software and still have an active license, whether that would be just a couple of months left on a 1-year license, or 2 years left on a 3-year license, or they were holding lifetime licenses. In these situations, users receive absolutely no discount compared to first-time buyers. Because of that, I feel this is the most compelling argument against Redfox's actions. If Redfox would have just offered discounts to all current active license holders, this whole thing would have gone down a lot easier. However, I don't think Redfox is out to screw over their users. Redfox is offering a pre-version 8 AnyDVD HD software to all users with valid Slysoft licenses, and I'm assuming that even when or if a user's license expires, they'll still have access to everything in that version. This is a very positive action, and it allows users to continue using AnyDVD HD without having to rebuy. The issues with doing that, of course, is that you won't receive any updates, and the more and more newer Blu-rays that get released won't be able to be decrypted. For me, someone who watches new releases more than anything else, it kind of renders this option pretty useless. But nonetheless, it is still a good gesture and probably does steal from Redfox's current sales. Secondly, I have zero knowledge of Redfox's current financial situation. Maybe they simply couldn't afford to give additional discounts to people with active licenses, and this is just what they have to do to keep their new company afloat and allow people to still have access to the software. If that's the case, then personally for me this is the better option, as I love this software so much. So those are my thoughts on the situation. Thank you for listening to this long video, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments below.